Let's take a look at the keyboard today. This keyboard's actually pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. I like the case it comes in too. Look at this thing. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful brown case. I am kind of like, I do appreciate a nice case when you get it as well. I do think having like a nice presentation of how you receive your product is super important. But this is the Ayleen TKL. It's gonna be vendored, actually it is being vendored by Keycaps. I believe this is even first come, first serve. It's in stock currently, from what I understand. Let me double check. First come, first serve. I know I took a look at all of this prior. This is kind of last minute, guys, because we've been expecting this and it just came in today, and it's just kind of like, we're just kind of rolling with the punches here for how this came in. But yeah, I believe it's all being shipped out via 1 week of processing and being shipped out via DHL, UPS, FedEx. 420 USD, yes, because it's Keycaps and 420, and it just kind of makes sense, I guess. So today, we're looking at the Ayleen TKL. We have a few PCBs. They sent us over a hot swap PCB and a regular solder roll PCB. They didn't send this O-ring. This is an O-ring / top mount board. This is a spare O-ring that I had. This is probably gonna differ a bit from what they are gonna be sending. So for now, this is my O-ring. There's a daughter board, but there's already a daughter board inside the case. But then we have the daughter board, not a standard daughter board, which is kind of a little bit annoying, but it's okay. Like, I'm not pressed about it. So yeah, this has a divider in the case too. Non-standard equals a little bit harder to get parts for, but it's all right. And then we have the TKL itself. Now, I don't have feet for this, unfortunately. This came feetless, so give me 1 sec too. So that's the only thing that we're truly missing today is the feet. But here is the TKL, which I think on the exterior, very simple, has a little badge over here, a little diamond badge you guys might be able to see. I think that looks really pretty. And then I think where this really shines is, again, its side profile, very reminiscent almost of the Sonnet, but not quite as like detailed. I'd say this is more like simplified. Really, really pretty gradient happening on the side of the keyboard there. So I think that's really pretty. And then you have the weight. Again, for everyone who's a naysayers about weights and they don't care the way they look, I think this one here turned out pretty nice. I believe this is the copper one. I will open this up too because it has some pretty nice stuff in the inside, and we need to get the plate too. Other than that, it's a really pretty keyboard. It's very simple, very pretty. I think where this shines is dual mounting system. It has top mount, plus it has O-ring mount, which I think is where this is gonna really show its colors. I hope, honestly, the O-ring mount's awesome, because we don't really see a whole crap ton of O-ring like TKLs. Copper and silver goes hard. Yeah, it does. Also, what's really nice about this is using torque screws. I like that. All right, let's take this apart. Let's put this back for the time being. And there's the inside. Now, what I think is really cool are these, I don't know what the hell this is, but these screws are so pretty for some reason. I know you're never gonna see them, but it's like almost attention to detail. On the inside too, what I can definitely already see too is this PVD piece in the center. Again, you'll never see this, but I think this is fucking awesome. And you know what I kind of like too? This polycarbonate piece that's sitting on the top as well. I kind of like that,
Alex.
I think that's kind of clean looking. It really does like make the internals look better. So I kind of like that, dude. I really do. Little side profile of this too. All right, and then here comes the one part that does bug me a bit, which is the inside has a different bit. Not the end of the world, but I will say this. Who asked about the quality? At $420 for an in-stock unit, that's a TKL that has double mounting system. I don't think that's a very bad price. Oh, I actually did not even know this about this board. Cool. So this board actually has a double plate system, which I actually really like because typically, and the reason why I like 60% is I find them to be more consistent. And I just dropped a screw. Not that it matters, we don't really need it. I find them to be a bit more consistent We've seen this in things like the Glacier, so I kind of like these. There's the inside there. Looks nice. All right, let's do this. What keycaps tonight? I was thinking Dracula, considering it. Where can I pick up a plate fork? I get mine, I think if you type an exclamation point plate fork or exclamation point fork, I get mine from Fang Studios. But I think a lot of different vendors have plate forks now. All right, let's put this on the O-ring here. I hope this works, man. I don't know if this is the right size. I think it is. It's not the right O-ring for this. I actually don't even know where this O-ring came from. I actually don't even think this is an O-ring for keyboards. That works. Where didn't use clip was, I don't have any more clip and stab, so I'm hoping this will be fine. It looks like it should be, because this kind of goes up. I think this works with normal stabs too because of this cut on the bottom of the plate. Actually, it's kind of nice if it does. And that's really the only piece that would interfere with it. Oh, it's actually kind of nice. All right, let's put this together. And then let's put this on here. I don't have feet for this, guys, unfortunately, but the weight looks so cute with the silver. It does, it looks really good. I think I'm gonna use Dracula today. Let me go grab Dracula. You have wanted the rose gold color if you could have chosen. I think I have enough rose gold. Do you know why the designer went for the split paint? I don't know their personal reason, but I'm assuming to give it more of a consistent feel between this section of the keyboard and the nav cluster. This is the O-ring config of this board. Let's take another quick little look at it. Let's flip this over. Here's the side profile with some keycaps on it. Again, I really like this. Very reminiscent of the Sonnet, not quite the Sonnet. The Sonnet has a little bit more detailing this on the side, but very, very pretty. Really like the way this looks. Flipping it over to the back, a little bit of a corner action over here. You can kind of see how this tapers inwards. It's a bit curved, as well as this weight. Has a little bit of embellishments as a border. It says Ayleen on the bottom, Ayleen, whatever you want to pronounce it. Recessed USB-C port, which is nice, hides a bit of that cable, as well as it hides behind the top lip over there as well. Very, very pretty keyboard. Simplistic, has a bit of a badge over here. Really, that's it. We are using no foam O-ring. This is not the O-ring that this comes with though. I don't know the durometer of this O-ring. This is something I just had lying around. This again was a very last minute stream. So I did not have all the tools ready for this and they didn't send me the O-ring, but we're gonna try this O-ring. I'm sure you can always buy your own O-ring as well. We are using GMK Keycaps, Gatoron cap golden yellow V2s with just a bit of 205G0, an aluminum plate, and that's it. So let's see what this sounds like now, shall we? Again, this does have that split plate too, so let's see if this actually makes a difference. That's actually really, it almost feels like a 60% O-ring. The typing angle's not bad. This is extremely comfortable to type on. It's not super stiff, it's not super soft. It's kind of in that middle, that typical O-ring. It sounds like a typical O-ring board, but it's definitely a lot deeper. I want to also attribute it to maybe these Gatoron cap golden yellow switches. I don't know, I personally really like this. The spacebar is not a high-pitched spacebar like we see on some of the other builds like I normally would think you'd find on a O-ring board. But I actually really like this. It goes with the alphas. It just seems a little bit deeper across the entire board, which I kind of like. So it definitely has some of the same characteristics of the O-ring boards without having that high pitchness. It kind of sets itself aside by being a bit deeper. Kind of nice. All right, do we want to see now top mount with this? I also, one thing too is I noticed they only put a 30A O-ring on the website. Dude, this is me being, I guess, kind of critical. Why not include some variety of the O-rings? These probably don't, I know for a fact these don't cost all that much. You know, I would throw in maybe a lighter and a heavier one, you know? have two options for people. Because I'm gonna be honest, after I tried the heavier O-ring, like the more higher durometer O-rings, the denser, like the harder O-rings, really changed my perspective on like if I even liked the lighter ones. So I would like to see some variety there. That's all. 20 and 60 would have been nice. I think a 30 and 80, believe it or not. I think that's what I would have chose. Okay, you do have to be careful when screwing this in as a top mount piece. Seems okay, there's a little bit of movement happening. So you do have to make sure you align this properly. It's a very, very small amount though. It's not as aggressive as some of the other stuff that is top mount that needs to be manually aligned. This is the top mount version of this now, same config obviously. Way different. Does it not sound pingy with just 4 screws? Nope, it does not. Top with foam? You guys want me to add foam to this? Dude, I feel like this would be like completely ruined with foam. I feel like this is gonna sound so boring with the foam. I do like the O-ring arrow keys more. You know, personally, I lean more towards the O-ring for the typing feel of it. But I do wish this spacebar was on the O. But dude, that's why I like these type of keyboards, so you can have some variety. I do like the variety here. Again, I would like to see a standardized, more universal daughter board in this. Unless this is gonna be something standardized, I'm not sure. Like this is the daughter board in this keyboard, FYI. Versus, I don't have a regular daughter board here, but standard ones are kind of square. This is the one drawback I would say, like the only drawback about this keyboard, assuming something goes wrong with it. This is a full plate aluminum, Mr. Rusty Panda. But yeah, I think this keyboard's lovely. I do. Love you guys, take care, and good night.